Welcome to another episode of In Depth with Academia. I'm Richard Price, and I'm thrilled to guide you through the exciting world of academic research today. And, we've got a fascinating paper lined up for you. We're diving into the work by Eugene Skeef on the incredible potential of African drumming as more than just a musical expression. It's about using African drumming as a tool for intercultural education and development. How intriguing is that? Now, to kick things off, what's the big question we're tackling today? Eugene Skeef's paper explores how African drumming can be a potent vehicle for promoting cultural understanding and education across diverse communities. It's not just about music, it's about using rhythm to bridge cultural divides. Now, why is this significant? Let's face it, our world can sometimes feel like a cacophony of cultures clashing rather than harmonizing. This paper suggests a more inclusive symphony where every culture and rhythm gets a chance to be heard and appreciated. So, Eugene introduces us to this idea with a fascinating insight that hearing is the first sense to develop in the womb. Imagine that. Before we see or taste anything, we hear. So think about it. Rhythm and music might just be deeply etched into our very existence from the get-go. Eugene suggests that rhythm is a universal language, a unifying force that transcends cultural boundaries. African drumming, with its rich, complex rhythms, embodies this universal language. Brilliant, right? Now, on to the core content of Skeef's work. He takes us on a journey through Africa, highlighting how music, especially drumming, is deeply embedded into various life stages. Birth, marriage, harvests, you name it. Skeef argues that rhythm binds communities and fosters an intrinsic respect for nature. It's a holistic way of life where music isn't just heard but lived. Intriguing, isn't it? He gives us this vivid glimpse into his childhood in South Africa, mimicking birds, communicating with nature. There's even an anecdote about bargaining with a honeybird. I mean, who knew drumming could teach cooperation, trust and survival? But here's where it gets really interesting. Skeef sees this drumming culture as a kind of informal education, a counterbalance to what he describes as the imposition of foreign values through formal education systems. He argues that instead of embracing our diverse histories and rhythms, we often find our cultures sidelined, like an out-of-food restaurant during a dinner rush. Can you imagine that? This brings us to Skeef's critical view of education systems, especially those he deems culturally conservative, like in England. Often these systems fail to reflect the vibrant multicultural fabric of modern society. Skeef calls for a more integrative approach, one where education embraces cultural diversity rather than clinging onto an outdated homogeneity. Basil from Fawlty Towers trying to manage a multicultural bed and breakfast, juggling plates and pandas. Just ponder that for a bit. Now, let's briefly touch on some of the methods Skeef uses, like those drumming workshops he leads. He's been to cities around the world, where he found that children of any background naturally engage with rhythm. They learn math through clapping and rhythmic patterns. Isn't that marvellous? And here's a tangent. When I was younger, I loved playing with rhythms too, though I never quite learned math that way. Interesting how things connect, right? Skeef's workshops use rhythm as the key to unlock creativity, cultural exchange, and personal empowerment. He shares poignant stories from Bosnia, where he facilitated exchange and healing in divided communities through drumming. Could you imagine that? Transforming the clashing sounds of tension into harmonious rhythms of understanding. There's also something deeply healing about this practice. Skeef highlights research showing how drumming can positively affect mental health, even change brain patterns. Some studies he references point out that drumming reduces stress. Can you believe it? There's a kind of universal magic in those beats. In conclusion, Skeef's paper shares that through drumming we can learn vital lessons about community, education, and healing. He urges us toward a more wholeness-centered education system, one that embraces rhythm to heal and bring us together. Maybe next time you encounter a looming deadline or a cultural misunderstanding, a quick beat on a drum might just offer a fresh perspective, or at least lower your stress levels. Worth a try, right? Remember, this paper is one perspective. Research like this opens windows for exploration and reflection, not necessarily the full truth. Our path through academia, much like rhythm, is about learning, growing, and adapting. Thanks so much for tuning in to In Depth with Academia today. It's been wonderful sharing these insights with you. Until next time, keep pondering those rhythms of life, and who knows, maybe pick up a drum, give it a whirl. See you next time, or hear you, you know what I mean.